two 18 Qs, so both black and white are 18 Q. Okay, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Okay. I'm a little worried. When I see double-digit Q players, their first four moves not being to just take the corners, I get a little worried. I really do. What I always used to do when I was black in this situation is just take another corner. Because what's the worst thing that he can do? The worst thing that he can do is make it look as though first he played his, what is this, 5-4 stone, and then I invaded. That's the worst thing that's going to happen, is we're going to play some type of 5-4 Joseki, where I invade thusly. I'm not bugged about that, provided I get to take more corners. Instead, black plays this. Maybe white did this because he's done this before and sees that it throws off players, because look, how often do you see this? When someone approaches your 3-4 with a 5-4. I don't know about you, I don't really see that. I see this. I don't see this. Whoops, that's not the move. I don't see this. This is the game. Okay, white goes ahead and responds, and then black plays somewhere else. At this point, I'm not loving it that black plays somewhere else. I think that this is a kind of sente, and that, if nothing else, he should play somewhere around here, because of the threat of getting sealed into the corner. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And thinking about it, if black gets to play a move over here, let's say white gets that same corner, now black gets to take away that base that he was gonna get. Didn't white want that? Whoa. So instead, they both just continue ignoring this corner, which is, I don't know about you, I think that white has a huge move right here. That's really big. I think it's bigger than getting the first move in a corner. Maybe I'm crazy for that. I think it is. I don't like all this. So black ends up getting 3 corners, right? Or the first move in 3 corners, because of white's strange decision. Reasons why, when you're a double-digit Q, I don't think it's a great idea to approach before you've done some corner stuff. Okay, white does a mirror go type thing. Whoa, okay. We have black responding in the same exact way, still getting thrown off. I think. I'm interpreting this as getting thrown off. For all I know, this is just how black plays, right? I don't know his life, man. Whoa. Whoa. I still would like black to get out of one of these corners somehow and not get sealed in, right? Let's say we keep tenukiing from each other. I mean, like, maybe not that, maybe this. I have no idea. Something crazy is going down, is the feeling that I'm getting. Like, right now, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And black continues playing away. I really want them to decide what's going to happen in these corners. This is dangerous to me. This is black asking to get sealed in, white. I guess in these situations, white's not the one who's concerned, because he can either seal black in, or he gets pincered, he can seal black in, or, you know, black comes out, then he gets to do this, right? He's got the choice of moves. In the game, we have black wanting to, he wants to do something with all the corners. He just wants to get all the corners incorporated before anything. I really think that these are worth responding to, and that would be a good idea. Black, or white rather, does not. They keep thinking that these aren't, that there aren't big moves here. I think that there are huge sente moves here. or rather, just urgent Sente moves. They can be urgent too. So white pincers, which makes sense. There's a relationship here. There's a relationship. It's important when there's a relationship there, right? You have to text back when there's a relationship there. You have to call back. You have to email back. Okay, fine. People don't email. So this is nice. The beginning, the budding of a new relationship. And then here, right, black is applying some pressure to the corner, maybe threatening to seal it in. White's not a fan of getting sealed in. Black ends up just wanting the corner. This is fine, settling himself quickly, not wanting to push from behind, because pushing from behind can feel ucky. Unfortunately, white gets this big turn. See here. I really like this from white. And here's why. I mean, would it have been nicer if there were already a white stone in this vicinity? Yeah, but like, that's the idea. He just got ahead of black. This is, if nothing else, a threat to seal him in. And this is black. To me, this is black going for it. This is black saying, I'm getting sealed in. I'm just going to live here. I don't like getting sealed in. I wish that they wouldn't be so okay with getting sealed in. He more than just got sealed in. Did you see how sealed in he got? What's the price white paid? How big is this corner? Maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'll call this 10 points tops. White paid 10 points to get a wall over here, It's not without its defects, but it's rather thick. Like, damn. This move I can talk. This move has no purpose. He's just empty triangling himself. I mean, if he plays away and white gets this move, it's not a big deal, or it's even less of a big deal. It's just it's not a thing. It's not a thing, black. You can technically reasons to be moderately good at life and death, to know when you get this move. Now you can do this. Now you can do this, right? Right? Aren't these good things that we want to do? Instead, so right, white can play some kind of extension from this wall. This wall already has an extension. Of course, you could strengthen it by playing something in between, but these small extensions this early on would be not very big. Playing something over here, I think, is bigger because he gets the first move, right? Can we imagine black getting that first move? Just in the general area, wherever black so chooses. And just sort of... what's the word I'm looking for? Not nullifying, but I can't think of the word. But mitigating. That's the word, I thought of it. Yes. Don't you love that? Mitigating the effects of this wall, mitigating the breadth with which this wall will encompass. So white makes this kind of move, which I'm still so eyeing these. These are so... You already sealed them in one corner. How cool would it be to seal them in 3 corners? Not that I think black would go for that, but who knows? So here's black. I think this is black's mitigating the wall move, right? Saying this side is important because if I do something like this, of course this is what you're doing. Of course this is what you're doing, and not over my dead body. So we see this. White gets to go ahead and take some territory for himself, right? Thus far, white has no territory. What just happened? Okay, what just happened? White took the corner, and black did the thrusty thingy, hit the head on the guy. Now his stones have already been hit on the head preemptively. maybe reasons why he didn't want to make shape is he didn't want to just let white continue extending along this nice big juicy fourth line. Fourth lines. Here we have a thing going on where black is taking a nice extension for himself. Not going to get too caught up with other things that could have gone over here. This is a fine idea. I have stones over here. You have stones over here. I'm going to get the first one. I'm going to be the first one who gets this move, right? Rather than white being the first one who gets this move. White plays high in between this. This says to me, you can stay connected. Okay, this is the move in the end. You can stay connected, but I want some more influence, right? I got some influence over here. I want some more influence. I like this. I like this. To me, this does not scream double-digit Q thinking. It looks like white, perhaps not being too concerned with this particular stone, really just wants more walls. He's a big fan of walls. I like it. Yeah, so black just solidifies. I don't know if that's exactly great. This is interesting, I guess, because this isn't exactly viable just yet, right? Like, what do you do? And then this would just be sort of, excuse me, handing white another another stone in his wall. But I am curious about this. I wonder if he's just trying to prevent any connection ever between this and this, which I'm wondering why that's his concern at this point. Other things that I'm looking for, if I'm black, are, yeah, again, these, whoa, playing something around these so that they don't get surrounded. But also, maybe being annoying, right? Taking peeps and doing something around here. Making an invasion, I guess it's called. Doing something similar around here, maybe not that exactly, but something, right? Because of how little there's no presence in all this space. This is also pretty wide for there to be no presence. White does this. I don't know exactly why. I'm imagining it's so that he's splitting these two groups while getting a two-space base no matter what. I think what he needs to be doing is, yeah, these just look so big to me, so big to me, so big to me. DDKs recognize when you can steal your dude in, your opponent. Because this looks like a way of doing that idea, but like the opposite of severely. This would be a really severe way, right? Let's say that I have no idea. Something gets played out here. And then, whoa, identical thing goes ahead and happens over here or something. What if he did that then? Or that then? Huge difference. Not that he has any guarantee that this is exactly how things go down. But I think that looking for the more severe move, especially the seal-in move, right? Because he can still get out. That's a big deal. So this is the game. This is how the game actually goes. Black refuses to get sealed in. And there we go. White makes himself a two-space base. Okay, so now that black isn't sealed in, I like this idea. I think he can play it closer to this wall. Closer, I don't know exactly. I don't know that I would do that, but this perhaps. Because we see two isolated stones with not a great intuitive... Whoops, that's not right. That's right. This is where he played. With not a great intuitive place to run to. Now he's giving them a base. Okay, this is the game. Now he's giving them a base while taking a base from himself. I think that this could have looked much better like this, right? Even if white wants to take away his base, not a big deal. Whoa, whoa, these guys are coming under attack. Let's find out what happens. What happens, that's right, we already saw this. White creates his base, black. I really wish black, now that this guy wasn't sealed in, played something much more severe to these stones. Severe moves are good. I really like looking for the most severe viable move, right? You can start maybe by looking for less than viable severe moves. Hell, for all I know, this move is viable, but what I'm just looking at is how close it is to this white wall. And then slowly backing up, and then slowly backing up, and slowly backing up, and slowly backing up, to sort of find the move that you want, right? Before you have like an intuition for that. Just sort of thinking about what's viable. Here we go. White protecting his cut while limiting black's size. Ooh. Whenever I see a kick like this, my intuition is to make myself a little wall, right? Rather than this. Okay, this is the game. Rather than this. White's on top of me. I'm feeling uncomfortable. Sometimes people being on top of you doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, and that's great. Sometimes it does, and you need to tell him to get off you. He could have just prevented that altogether. Which is ideal, right? Prevent yourself getting in that situation altogether. Here I'm interested in what the peep does, but maybe not that interested. Yeah, sure, why not? This is kind of cool. White doesn't do that. White jumps up from this side. So already, why I much rather would have preferred that is black has more, I guess, surface area, right? He has more area aiming toward the center of the board. When we're in this position, we have less area into the middle of the board. And then white gets to jump up and sort of mirror us, right? These positions could have looked identical, I think, but instead they look like this, and white's got the better look, if I do say so myself. This is a good idea. I like that black keeps running. He's not letting white maybe come out with this guy, maybe try to do some shenanigans, and now this guy is behind enemy lines and not completely alive. It could use some shape moves. There it goes. Playing the shape moves. I think this is maybe the move that black's looking for, because this has the potential for bad things. The potential for bad things. Maybe something more severe than that, but you understand the idea. This is, I don't think black wanted to do that. I think black wanted to do this. And now white can't cut off his stone. When black does this, white can more than cut off his stone. That's not what happened. What? How is that not what happened? Okay. This is kind of important. Gonna say this because this is kind of important. When you can cut the things, especially when you're looking at this. Even if you think that this is strong, you know that this is weak. Cut that guy off. Oh man, right? Could you imagine this? And then I don't know where black's trying to run to. Versus this, right? Where black just connects underneath and is totally fine and has nothing to worry about. Also, that might be a carpenter square. Instead, white doesn't do that. Oh, I think that's really important. He goes for the whole connecting my 2-space base with my other guy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I got some things to say to you, Black. Okay. Things. So, let's say we're in this position. Because we are. It's not super hypothetical. We have this on our board. This did come about somehow. Let's take account of everything that's going on and see where we could really use a move and where maybe we could not really use a move. Black has some corner territory. Black has a moderately weak group. Black's got some territory. Black's got some corner. Black's got a very weak guy in the corner. Things that White has. White's got some corner stuff. It looks like it is getting ready to get sealed in. White's got some stuff on the side that is attempting to make this connection with a bunch of low stones. White's got two stones that aren't very close to making a connection with anything unless they play exactly here. Or here or whatever. And he's got some influence over here that is not yet making shape, right? This is just a line of single stones, more or less. I mean, it's a very curved line, but we can imagine that in our heads. What does Black want to do? There are a lot of options. I encourage you to think about this yourself. Of course, there's one that stands out, obviously, to me, because I've been saying it all game long, is that these guys are so ready to get sealed in. We just saw these guys get sealed in, and the not nice thing about, whoops, that's not the right tool, the not nice thing about getting sealed in, is that not only does White have influence to perhaps do whatever he wants to with this group, in the near future, we'll find out, but also all his stones are more or less connected. Okay, we can say less connected. They're less connected, but they're vaguely connected, and it's looking good. It's looking like he's not gonna have to worry about isolation problems like life and death. Yeah, I think of life and death as an isolation problem. What? Because if this gets isolated, it has to think of life and death. If this gets isolated, it has to think of life and death. Before, when we were imagining this, right? Things getting isolated, being forced to think of life and death. Of course I want Black to play over here. But also, what are things that Black can consider playing? He can consider attacking this. He can consider, poking fun at these sorts of cuts. Not this one exactly, that's weird. But poking fun at these sorts of cuts, getting this group somewhere. What I'm not thinking of is playing an aimless move in the middle of the board. Some of the ideas that might run through your head when you're getting accustomed to Go are, or includes, okay, I need a big move right now. What's big? Whoa, if I just look at the board, this is really big all of a sudden. Why is this so big all of a sudden? I'm going to play an aimless move in the middle of it. Yeah, don't do that. Don't play an aimless move in the middle of it. Look for something that's weak. Look for something that you can abuse. You can abuse this. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong tool. Let me use this guy. You can abuse this. You can abuse this. Heck. You can use this to not get sealed in. I keep looking back at this. I keep looking back at this because that is just so... That's kind of a biggie. Don't make an aimless move in the middle of the board. I'm in my head, I'm face palming so hard right now. Wow. I think, I don't know what just happened, but I think both of our players are now on drugs. They are playing nonsense moves. This is a wedge. It's a wedge. This is immediately what I think of playing. Maybe I meant here. Maybe White really wants to get into this fight. Maybe. But I have no idea. That was so crazy. That's something that you don't see anymore. Whoa. Anymore being at 5Q, if you're me. This is something that you definitely don't see anymore. What? Black just ignored that and was like, that's fine. That's fine. I don't, you can, yeah, sure. A, definitely do something about that. B, fix your cuts. C, then worry about the remaining thing. White's playing fighting moves. Ooh, he a fighter. Alright. I don't know why Black's playing any of these moves. This is so confusing for me. Black really wants to attach to this. I'm scared of things if I'm him. He does this. Okay, he's okay with giving up this stone and just maintaining this connection. You know, this could have gone worse. I think Black did an alright deal. An alright job of handling this stuff. Yeah, there's this, which is like leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I can't believe that White didn't do it. Yeah, Black might die. Whatever. White's not gonna go for it. Instead he goes for this, which is small beans. This is super small. I still can't take my eyes off this, in case you can't tell. Alternatively, if White really doesn't want to play this, he can say, make fun of how useful this is now going to be for him, when he tries to use it to solidify his very unsolid, went too far back, giant space down here. I really just eyeball this as not a useful move. So we play small moves and then we get a response. I guess it may be small, but it's definitely likely to be Sente. I can't say definitely Sente. Words just escape my mouth too quickly sometimes. Right, because if Black wants to do this, he's going to have a heck of a lot of cutting points. If he doesn't want to do it, and he wants to maybe somehow connect all these stones, they could use some help. They're floating. They could use some shape. Shape is what I meant when I said help. Other things that we see going on after White plays his small beans moves. This is, whoops, I keep getting the wrong tool. This is still, whoa, what I'm totally looking at. Because White's more or less safe. He's in the corner, right? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? And Black is by no means safe. Maybe White's wary of this, but he's got a bunch of things. Okay. Gonna stop dwelling on them playing moves that are too small. This move, it's, globally, I don't like it because of this, that these were the first moves played, wow, and they've been ignoring them whole time. No, Nomad Farmer, I'm just reviewing. For those of you just joining us, I am just reviewing some double-digit Q games that I found on the internet. These are two 18 Qs. Looking back at this, while I really think that there are bigger moves to play, you know, he can, perhaps if he wants to do this to set up this cut, I really like that. Of course, now this stone is weak, perhaps to have continued playing something and then get this cut in. What happens in-game is this. I don't think this is doing much. To have threatened this guy, I would have liked, personally. Of course, we have a problem, and maybe it won't be super hard for white to make two eyes. But then look at what we've done. We've cut this off from this, so now this is looking much weaker. This cut is standing out. That's outstanding. And maybe making some use of our useless bad stone in the middle of nothing. And if we get to seal this in with this, maybe we end up miraculously making some points here. Just because you never know what happens in a double-digit Q game. That's not what we see. We see black playing up, just begging to get Hanade, I mean not Hanade, I guess turned onto. And now, right, when black plays, oh, whoa, he's giving white this perfect shape move. But, at the same time, it's not like this cut isn't impossible. This cut's still more than there. Maybe it becomes something like this, or something like this now. But this is still going to be generally fine. Why black played over here, I have no idea. I don't think this is a big this is a big area of the board. What's he worried about? Is he worried about white getting this move? Okay, I can see him not wanting white to get a few more points. But again, this is just points. Before you go for just points, before I go for just points, I'm always looking at like, ooh, what's like the little shyster moves? What are the cut things to pieces moves? This thing is screaming, I'm not solid at all. Had white had moves like this, I would understand why black's ignoring it. Also this. Can't stop looking at this guy getting carpenter squared. Squared? Carpenter squared? Okay, yeah, just carpenter squared. I guess that sounded weird to me because it wasn't going to be a math problem. Here goes white with the fighting moves. I don't know where he wants this to go. Ooh, black. Can't. Whoops, I'm working with the wrong tool. Am I ever not working with the wrong tool? There's gotta be a way to do this. Oh, it's a ladder to a bad place. There's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way. There's just gotta. I have no idea. I'm gonna spend not time reading through this fight. I'm just gonna brush over it. Okay, I guess white didn't want to get into that either. White ends up making a few extra points here anyway, but regardless of any of this, I'm still really interested in cuts over here. I'm right now, after we've just played all of this, I'm less interested in here. Let's actually in this cut, right? Because now we've got a bunch of supporting stones. That's what we've got now. Something as simple as this, I don't see a great way for white to live, but who knows, not going to look too much into the fight. Black did protect his cut. Fundamentally, that's fine. That's good. I like it. He's protecting his cut. This is all endgame. We're not in the endgame yet, and we're playing second line stones. What do you mean? What do you mean? No, these are really small. If white's concern is making life, he did a great job because he. What? Yeah. So one more time. If white's concern is making life, he did a great job because black responded. But what I would do right here as black is go play somewhere. Because who cares? Of course white's gonna live. Whatever, he's gonna like do his stupid monkey jump. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. That's not the move. This is what happens. They played this way. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh, not happening. Why don't you do this? This looks nice. This looks juicy. Ooh, ooh, all that juice. I mean, what is this worst case scenario? This thing, and then it's fine. Even this is Sente, I think, if white wants two eyes. Hell, I don't know if we just wrecked white. Right, this has potential for killing. Does it not? So right, that's a thing that white can't play. He needs to just do this. But whatever. White could want the ko at T17. Oh, you think maybe he wants that? Oh. Oh. Yeah, I don't think he saw that either. Yeah, very doubtful. I think this is just 18 Qs reading first and second line Hanes. But small stuff in general. In time, they'll learn this stuff. I think that's a big thing that happens when you're starting out is early on. You're just really bad at reading these types of situations. But I think the only possible way to fix that is practice. Here we have ourselves in a peculiar position, right? Because now, if black gets this move, this is looking huge. White's gonna need some life-saving moves over here because that kills, and then he's running out into what is this? This is a bunch of black, and I don't see a connection between these two groups happening. I guess there are other worries. There are other worries. Yeah, namely that one. But something along these lines, right? Very life-threatening. This is not the very life-threatening most fear move. This is forcing white into good shape. Instead of, I mean, taking that move for himself, which is not that big of a deal, because then he gets to connect. Much would have preferred seeing the cut. You have a cut. See the cut. This is a knight's move between these two stones. This would be right in elephant's eye. This is a knight's move. This is not connection. This is not a connection. We keep going. We keep playing up. I think he really doesn't want this to be disconnected. Even though I'm just so shocked this whole game that they've never come back to their first 4 moves. I think those are the first 4 moves of the whole game. I don't know why black's doing this. First he's pushing from behind, right? Is that not pushing from behind? And he's letting white fix all his own problems without even having to come back to them, right? Because at this point, here, let's go to this point. This isn't a problem anymore. There's no cut here because of all the surrounding stones. I don't know why black did that, especially because if he does want this to be territory, right, he needs to play another move, or white's gonna ruin that. And also, this is not gonna be that much. Let's say he gets that. This is not that much. This is not that much at all. Let's see. Nomad Farmer says white approached with move 2. Yes. Actually, this was move 2, right? This was move 4. It was mad. It was maddening. Ooh, what a crazy game. This is interesting. If you want, this will be on YouTube. And you can watch the entire madness unfold. You're probably more interested in that if you're a double-digit Q yourself. Black keeps running out in this direction. I really have no idea what he's been doing, right? If we look at the last, from move 97, this is 97, black keeps running in this direction. Now it's move 105. I have no idea why he did that. I'm actually very confused. The one reason that's going through my head as a big possibility is right here, maybe he's afraid that this is going to become white points. This isn't going to be, let's see, Nomad Farmer says, from this shape, even from this shape. Didn't expect high approach. Yeah, yeah. Things got weird, let's just say. But from this point, I think the only way that White's going to be able to turn a bunch of this into points if for some reason he gets a bunch of free moves across the top here, and that's exactly what happened. I think Black just forced White into making all this as points. At this point, that was so not the case. This was a very vulnerable cut or peep with a bunch of potential. If we, also had a stone around here, making this stone hard to connect over here. If nothing else, it's at the very least not allowing White to make this entire bottom level, bottom side level, whatever, into points. And then that's exactly what happened. No, no, no. Sometimes that hurts. What did Black accomplish while doing that? Nothing. He managed to make no points. Right? Maybe this if he gets another move. Okay. What he might have been wanting to do is run to this group to get this group out. I think he should be running from this group, not to this group. Mostly because running to this group is skimming over all these interesting, important, valuable cut points. Running from this group is, I guess, there very much is the concern that you're solidifying White's bottom. But if nothing else, he does have some loose stones on both sides. You can perhaps, mess with one group. Was that this? No, whoops. Where was I just? Right, mess with him, at least keep him low here. If you really want this connection, just give him less free moves over here around the big interesting cut points, which I think probably begins at identifying those as interesting cut points. Which I understand is not always easy to do as a double-digit Q. What's the best way to do it? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Here we have some interesting things going on. I have no idea why that played out the way it did, but it did. I'm not going to get too concerned over exactly how they played that out. Black does get to seal this into, what is this, 10 points? While White does get to make all this into points, that was bad. I'm going to go ahead and call the rest of this endgame where nothing happens. Am I correct in saying that? Endgame where nothing happens? Endgame where nothing happens. Whoa. Why did that get separated? Now it has to live. Now it has to worry about those isolation problems. I mean, sure, it's alive, but not ideal, I guess, is all. This is all endgame, I believe. What's going on? What is White trying to pull down there? I don't know. We don't get to take any of these cuts, and for the longest time, that's, whoops, whoa, that was the end of the game. For the longest time, these guys stood. Yeah, I'm gonna go to here. For the longest time, these guys stood, begging to be cut. For the longest time, these guys stood, begging to be sealed in. I have no idea why any of this happened. I think the rest of this is going to go ahead and be not that interesting endgame. Oh, okay, Black does make a cap. Whoops, that's not what we're doing. Black makes a capture here because, right, White doesn't see that. That's tough, that's tough, that's tough. That's kind of a lot of points. And then, am I correct in saying that's the only thing that happens? Yeah. And what do we have? Well, what do we have? White still, despite this, wins by 12.5. I think the biggest mistake was, oh, whoops, let's see, S11 looked like the big cut since I got here. Let me try to go back to where that happened. Oh, that's a pretty big cut, right? Let's hang out around here. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Could white not have done this, and then that's kind of really dead. There's no way to make this into two eyes. I'm not seeing it. I'm not convinced. That's also a really big cut. Really big cut. Yeah, wow, I'm surprised that this was just like standing like this for so long. And then they ended up playing, where was it? They ended up playing it over here. I think so. Like, let's imagine. I'm not going to try to get too into life and death right now because, one, it's late. I'm about to go. Two, if you are interested, you can just copy this on your own board, and run through its life and death yourself. That being said, are there any questions about this game or the last game? If not, I mean, if there are, I'm going to wait for that because I know that there's a delay. If not, I'm going to be streaming again Thursday and Friday, doing more single-digit Q stuff, not double-digit stuff. Going to be just playing some games, doing some analysis, normal stuff. That's going to be at 2:30 Central, Thursday, Friday. 3:30 Eastern, noon 30 Pacific. What else? If I can think of it. I hope you found this useful if you're a double-digit Q player. I felt pretty good about today's stream. I felt prepared. I felt like I was ready to go today, and ready to show some double-digit Q stuff. I think big themes that I identified from today, that's hopefully helpful for double-digit Qs, is one, just having a purpose behind your moves. Two, reading life and death for the sake of not having to play the last move in an area, right? Not having to live in Gote when you could have lived in Sente. Because that's kind of a big deal, not getting the initiative. Oh, thank you, Nomad Father. I'm glad that you appreciate it. Thank you, and you're welcome. And I'm having fun. I hope that you guys are having as much fun as I am. That being said, I think I'm gonna go. Have a good rest of your Tuesday.